Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live, November 2019, with the theme Slow Down. Hello everyone. Now before I begin, as always, I'd like to thank the continued support of my donators and patrons, whose incredible support always humbles me. And of course I'm not able to use the chat because the microphone is more important. There's also going to be a very awesome erotic hypnosis conference next year, March, in Germany. The conference itself will be in English, and if you are interested in going to such an event, you should definitely come. Tickets are about €90, and that includes lodging and food and everything, because I'm reasonably sure there's still some tickets remaining. You can find the MP3 of this event and of previous events and more information on hypno.nimja.com/live. Now, for those of you who are new, let me tell you the basic schedule. We begin with the introduction, which is now. Then we will discuss the theme. After the theme, we will do the actual hypnosis. And after that, we will go do the Q&A, where you can ask your Qs and I will give some As. And welcome also several new people that I see in the chat. Now, as we are here, let me see if I forgot anything. I don't think so. Nope. Everything is indeed doing fine. Now, before we discuss questions or food, let's first talk about the theme. And I'm very glad to see several of you here that have made it to your first live. I will call out names during the Q&A. Now we begin with a discussion of the theme. Slow down. This is a gentle theme, so the hypnosis itself will not contain any BDSM or erotic suggestions. So, slowing down, if you saw the other options as well to mentally slow down, the other options were to speak up and to step back, all things related to getting a grip on yourself and either like standing up for yourself or taking a moment to relax. The trance itself will probably be about 15 to 20 minutes or longer if I get inspired. And as always, the trance will start 1/4 past. So, mentally slowing down, I saw and I also like the idea that the world around you slows down so you don't have to think about it. Slow down overthinking. Yeah, actually, fractionation could work. Some reassurance. Slowing down with breathing exercises. I don't know if I will include clocks. Taking everything a day at a time or one step at a time. Fading out. Let me see, not getting in your own way. Slowing down thoughts to have a chance to have another look and making sure the person is comfy. Stop to think. Taking time, which was mentioned several times. I don't think it'll be a sweet story to go down. Breaking tasks down. Breaking tasks down is sort of a different thing. Slowing motion or slowing perception. So for the few newcomers, we are now discussing the theme Slow Down, and in a couple of minutes we will start the trance itself. And yes, I might also slow my sound. And please keep language in English. I don't know if I want to make you feel like your battery's running low. It would be nice to have a recharge rather than a running out of juice. And the idea is that it will be mostly mental. If possible, slowing the spiral. That I would have to prepare a lot. Also, I don't know if everyone is aware, but these events are completely unscripted, including the trance itself. It is all improvised. right. Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't an easy way to turn off the chats like during the trance. Fortunately, if you close your eyes, the chat should not make any noise. And I might have some inspirational advice, or, well, advice. All right, I think I have enough. Let me put that there. There we go. And don't worry, I won't forget the spiral. Now, make sure that you get into a comfy position and just let it happen. It looks like most people are ready. Awesome, very good. And this will be a mental relaxing slowdown. For those of you who do not want to participate, I ask you to be quiet in the chat. Because during the trance, it's very nice if people are not distracting. And I'm sorry to hear if you're not home yet or not able to listen properly. But I can't let everyone who's on time wait. All right. Let us begin. All right. And like I said, let's begin. Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live. Slow down. In this file, I will help you and your mind to slow down. There are times when the world around us appears to move so fast, and we ourselves are dragged along in this continuous stream of activity. Fortunately, there are also places and moments where we can take the time for ourselves and slow down, relax, enjoying a moment just for you. Allow yourself to take a deep breath and simply close your eyes. The words can wash over you like a refreshing stream. And as they continue, you might notice how your thoughts, your body, your mind slow down and recover in that moment of peace. Slowing down doesn't have to be boring at all. In fact, it can be a lot of fun. When your mind is slowed down nicely, it usually has a lot of space to explore, to think, to create, to imagine. So if you want to imagine, if you want to enjoy that moment of your mind where you simply let yourself go for a little while, allow yourself to slow down, fading out from the world. The rest of the world will slow down even more than you, so you don't have to worry about a single thing. Just take a breath and then let it out slow. And while I keep on talking, you can continue to let yourself slow down even more. It's completely all right if you slow down so much, fading out your thoughts so deep that you might miss a word or two, or even whole sentences flowing through your mind without you even noticing. In fact, if that were to happen, you can be happy that you slowed down so much and relaxed so deeply that you simply let things pass you by. Now I might make you aware of some things. For example, right now, your thoughts are a bit more awake again. They can notice the words that I'm speaking, and they can let themselves settle again, knowing that what I'm saying is fine. It helps you to relax, to let go, to drift, so you can. Every time you can relax a little deeper, a wonderful state of mind, a simple moment where your mind meanders back and forth through imagination, and you can let yourself enjoy it. We are at our most creative when our thoughts are free of everything else. And when are you more quiet and calm than when drifting, slowing down, allowing your mind to mentally unwind, deeper and deeper drifting into that state where you can participate simply by listening. You don't need to do anything else. Close your eyes and let yourself be surprised. I wonder, could you imagine a complete absence of imagination? Could you don't could you slow down so much that your thoughts are so relaxed, so blank, that for a little while there would be nothing at all. So let me take you down this path one step at a time. Each step further along the path allows you to fade out even more. This path can go on as long and as deep as you want. But I will start with a countdown, something to help you feel the rhythm of your mind slowing down. So listen to the words as I slowly let you feel what is heard in your imagination. 10. Just let yourself relax. 9. Going deeper and deeper. 8. The rhythm bringing you down. 7. Your thoughts slowing with the pace. 6. No need to think anything at all. 5. The world slowing down even more than yourself. 4. Everything becoming a blank place. 3. Every step a little deeper, slowing down. 2. Like a light leading you further as you are ready. 1. A wonderful moment of quiet leading into a draw. And when that simple drop drives your thoughts to slow down even more, it's difficult to imagine the emptiness that you experience as you feel it. It becomes even more blissfully blank, beautifully slow. And down here, we can take the time to let our thoughts figure out anything that they need to. They unwind with every drop, allowing your process, feelings, thoughts to slow down. And you can almost see yourself thinking in slow motion, feeling your body move so slow, as you hear the sound slow down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, wonderfully slow. And allow yourself to enjoy that for as long as it takes. Each tick and talk so slow, like an infinite clock, special for your mind. Adrift as you find your imagination. To relax even more. And in a moment, it will not be time to wake. No, it will be another chance, another moment to drop deeper. You may wonder where your imagination goes. Once you are in a blissfully blank, beautifully calm, slowed down state. It may move through your dreams, drifting, as your unconscious mind makes your imagination a beautiful place. And the slower you are, the more you can work out anything you need to. Can you imagine an emptiness so deep that it slows down your mind to a standstill? That after the tick, there is no answer. At some point, there will have to be a next moment, but not yet. It will be a while before the clock can continue. As I've helped you to slow down so much, that time inside and out is simply absent. And who knows how long all of this time will have felt to you, so slow that it might feel like an instant or an eternity of nothing. Once you drop deep, it is interesting to attempt to measure the meandering of your mind in moments, as they do not connect to one another. Like before and after, missing sentences that drift through your mind. There may be an up to this. After that infinite down, at some point, there must come a talk. I don't think your mind is fully ready yet, but that's okay. It can take all the time it needs to recover, to return from slowing down back to reality. Perhaps it is time, or maybe not, that the tick and tock of the clock has spread from the moments that passed to the future. Thank you for giving me a moment to slow you down, allowing your mind to take a breath and a pause, just because it's nice to let yourself recover. Now in a moment, I am going to count you up again, but don't think that we are done just yet. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake, and down again. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop a little deeper. I am going to count you back up again in a little while. You can remember that whenever you need to, you can slow down and help yourself recover, working through with your imagination whichever things you want to work through or even need to. So permit me this small smile as the time of the tick and the talk has finally arrived to count you back up completely this time. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake. And 9, 10, awake. Hi there. Welcome back. And I hope you enjoyed that. I am glad to hear that you liked it. And I must say, I'm slightly surprised by how long it is. And Britt Groenewegen asks the first and very difficult question of how do you do this? Practice. And for those of you curious, that was about 21.5 minutes. It's really interesting how when your mind slows down like that, time doesn't feel the same. Subdued Hughes asks, why do you ask us to take off your headphones at the end of a sleep file? Because I don't want you to strap your headphones around your neck. Basically, it's a habit because most of the people who listen to sleep files listen to it with headphones because headphones are nice. Megan Brett asks, is this something you incorporate in your daily life or is it just for your videos? I definitely do hypnosis outside of YouTube or outside of my files. One of the reasons why the live events, even the gentle ones, are adult only is because I am a very naughty boy sometimes. Subdued Hughes asks, any games you're looking forward to? Cyberpunk 2077. I don't have a very long list of games I'm looking forward to at the moment, but I'm sure that'll change again. That one kid asks, do you prefer being hypnotized? Do you enjoy being hypnotized yourself, or do you prefer being the one hypnotizing? I generally enjoy being the one hypnotizing. Bill Friends asks, any tips for those of us that find it difficult to drop? Practice. Hypnosis gets easier over time. Irina Pearl asks, has a fan ever gone up to you outside of in-person events? Technically, yes. I've had one person who recognized me in public. Subdidius asks, have you heard of this guy called Nimja Hypnosis? I think he's doing a live stream right now. I think I have, sometimes. Jasmine asks, did you play Luigi's Mansion 3? Not yet. I am planning to play it. Evan Lynn asks, how or why does post-hypnotic amnesia happen spontaneously? It depends a bit on the person. Megan Brett asks, are your live videos once a month? Yes, they are. They are the first Sunday of every month. And there is one every 2 weeks or so. Well, sort of. Every 2 months, I do an additional live for silver and gold patrons, which is a much naughtier live than the ones on YouTube. And the other month, I run a meetup for erotic hypnosis. Liv asks, any idea what I could draw to you? Let yourself be inspired by the files. That one could ask, does it ever worry you that some of your listeners might be underage? Yes, this is why I mark all my videos as age restricted when appropriate. And there's a warning on the side, and I'm very careful about this. Hypnosis itself is safe for all ages. It's just that the kink-related stuff I make is not. Blackamus Prime apparently used a strip of LED lights with rapid blinking with the spiral, and it was very intense. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, what are your fetishes? A very long list. And the live events are marked as age restricted. These should be anyway. And they are 18 plus. Yes, I just double checked. This is definitely age restricted. So anyone who opens this live stream should get a message that this is adults. It's 18 plus. Splash XPS, is your effects notes and playlist permanent? No, nothing I make is intended as permanent. Hypnotic effects are to be enjoyed temporarily, and some may inspire your mind to be more productive or more focused in general. But nothing I make is intended to be permanent. Sparkly Emeralds, do kids go trick-or-treating in the Netherlands? In some places, yes. Mel asks, do you have anything going on in your life that you're currently excited about? Yes, I am excited about going to Wales for an erotic hypnosis event, and I'm excited to going to Germany to give workshops. The one in Wales is very much sold out. The one in Germany still has some tickets. UA asks, have you considered words in your background spiral? There is a visual for this, as there are many on hypno.nimja.com. And Megan Brett, I'm very glad to hear that the file helped you slow down and relax. Alex Crowd asks, did you dress up for Halloween this year? I was an evil hypnotist. Light User asks, do you disclose if when subliminal background messages are utilized, and what method do you use, if any? I usually include warnings in the intended effect field. None of my files have any intense subliminal messages, so my subliminal messages usually consider of whispers of relax or listen. I don't think I have any file where the whisper track in the background, of which I don't have many to begin with, contains anything that isn't already warned about. Subdue to Hughes asks, what video game has the best soundtrack and why? Mario. Because purely by how well known it is the best soundtrack. For listening, there's a lot of games with really good soundtracks. Liv asks, your file, The Final Boss, remind me of The Legend of Zelda. Was it inspired by it? I mean, I like Zelda, but the file was inspired by many games and many things. That one kid asks, does it ever hit you that you can make people's days so much better with your file, so that your channel and site might be a safe space for many? And if so, how do you feel about that? I'm very happy to inspire positive things in people's lives. Octavia Hall asks, did you watch the Aladdin live action movie? Nope. Westlake Angel asks, how do you feel at this moment? Fine. Irena Pearl asks, do people treat you differently once they find out you do hypnosis? Not usually. Jasmine asks, did you watch The Addams Family? Well, yes. The animated version? Don't think so. Megan Brett asks, what is your favorite genre of film and music? I would say sci-fi and fantasy for film, and for music, I don't have a good name for the style I prefer, but I listen to a lot of different things. That one kid asked, did someone ask you what you had for dinner today yet? They did, but it was before the Q&A, so it didn't count. I had homemade pizza. It was very meaty, but very delicious. Fauna Johnson asks, if video games or movies suddenly disappeared, which would you be more upset about? Video games, because they're interactive. Blackamus Prime asks, are we getting a live event in January this time around? I don't think so, because I think even the live light is in February. Yes, it is. It's in the even months. Katarina Spielman asks, why don't you make a file based on the Addams Family? I do not make files based on copyrighted content. Yes, I'm not entirely surprised by me mentioning those specific words that people are. Subdued Use asked, we know your favorite color, but what is your least favorite color? I don't know. Vanadium Void asks, would you ever consider remaking old files? Yes, and I do sometimes. I give them a new name, though. Like, I sometimes get inspired by old files. Megan Brett asks, how and when did you get into hypnosis and kink? Those are two different questions. And I learned about hypnosis very early, but didn't get into it until much later. Vienna Moon asks, is there a file on social anxiety? Yes, there are several files that help against anxiety. It's Evan asks, if you were born a woman, would you be a dom or a sub? I don't know. I am not a woman, I am a man. And it is impossible for me to judge my life, which would have probably been completely different. It is very likely that I would be dominant. Katarina Spilman asks, is there something with hypnosis that you don't like? Yes, stage hypnosis. Specifically the kind of stage hypnosis that ridicules a subject, because I feel that it's incredibly disrespectful. Mowgli asks, what's your go-to solution when you have insomnia? The hammer. No, just meditation and hypnosis. Fauna Johnson asks, which is more satisfying, warming up when you're cold or cooling down when you're hot? Yes. Becca Rose asks, ropes or chains? Yes. Jasmine asks, will you sing Fly Me to the Moon? No, it is copyrighted. UA asks, what is the most obedient file? Actually, all the files are very obedient. They play and stop when you tell them to. Subdued Hughes asks, what is the one show or game that everyone hates but you like, or vice versa? It's called a guilty pleasure. Or a... yeah, it's called a guilty pleasure. I don't know. I mean, I quite liked Sky Captain and The Day of Tomorrow, even though it's kind of a weird movie. And I'm sure there's games that I like that other people are, yeah. Kayara asks, is there a file that helps the listener fall into trance? Yes, it's called Induction. There's a whole playlist for Induction. Jacoby Control asks, what is your least favorite file? I'm not sure. Luna Beekhuizen asked, would you rather have a tame dragon the size of an elephant live in your house? That would not fit. Or a fairy that follows you and zooms like a mosquito? I don't know. I mean, mosquito sounds are really annoying, but if the fairy can kill mosquitoes, then I don't mind, because then I know that I'll be mosquito free for the rest of my life, which would definitely be the better option. Elizabeth Allen asks, what would an evil hypnotist say? Fauna Johnson asks, the most pleasantly unique file request you've gotten? I don't know. I had a very, the dragon transformation file with the mountain was a email discussion with a guy that started that like suggestion, and it was really cool. Steven Schwartz asks, "Hoe gaat ie, maat?" "Yeah, it's going well, thanks. I'm being watched by over 100 people, apparently." Hello, I'm a big fan asks, "Do you talk your normal voice in your videos, or do you lower it down a bit?" Like, rewind this video about 30 minutes and let me know. Evelyn asks, "Preferred method for world domination?" I would say non-aggressive. Some people are asking for the dragon voice or the robot voice. I'm wondering... Can I do both? That sounds really weird. Jacoby Control asks, "How low can your voice go?" Well, see, with normal speech, I don't know that I can go that low. But like this I can go even lower. Which is not exactly the same. ElijahUser20, I'm glad to inform you about subliminals. If you ever notice that the description of a file does not match the file, please let me know. I have over 600 of them, and unfortunately mistakes do happen. There is an anonymous contact form on the site, so you can even let me know about mistakes without like sharing anything about yourself. Over time, I think most descriptions and mentions of anything are fixed, and I think most mislabels have been fixed as well. Jacoby Control asks, "How high can your voice go?" I am not going to torture you with that. Steven Schwartz asks, "Can you sing for us?" Bonus points if you know what that melody is from. Sparkly Amber asks, "How do you deal with subjects who are very nervous or anxious and so are struggling to drop?" Well, wrestling helps if they're struggling a lot. But more seriously, nerves themselves can be a fun way to go into trance. And yes, it was Who Wants to Live Forever by Queen. The original lyric is "There's no time for us." Mokerly asks, "You could probably talk me into losing a snowball fight, but preferred strategies were I to have earplugs." Stealth. Cincy asks, "Are you any good at accents?" No, I'm terrible at accents. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, "Are you planning to do more videos with a whisper background?" I don't know. Katarina Spilman asks, "And by people who are scared to go into trance?" That's actually a really interesting question. People who fear hypnosis is almost always out of ignorance, and I mean this in the nicest way. Like, they have a preconception or basically wrong knowledge about trance and its possibilities. It's a natural mental state and one that we do all the time ourselves. Sparkly Amber asks, "Have you ever actually done a wrestling induction?" Of course. Liv asks, why did you decide to do the lives on Sundays? Because I have work tomorrow and I'm sleepy. Because if I do them on Saturdays, I have to be home. Steven Zwaars asks, kun je Nederlands voor ons praten? Jacoby Control asks, when are you creating Nimja Inc. and taking over the world? Well, if you have to ask, you're not part of the plan. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, can you say something evil? I have all the cookies. Subdued Hughes asks, can you give us a random pun? I could, but my puns are terrible. Fauna Johnson asks, movie that has the most accurate portrayal of hypnosis? I don't know. Steven Schwartz asked, how many languages do you manage to speak? Well, I'm most fluent in Dutch and English, and I speak some German and some French and a very tiny smidge of Japanese. Leah Thorpe asks, finally got a short break. How's the live going? It's going pretty well. Let's see if there's any new questions, because I did already answer what I dressed up as. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, have you ever been hypnotized yourself? I have. Vienna Moon asks, what's a good game a little can play with their stuffies? Guess the dress? Or I Spy? Bogdan the Lurker asks, what's something you love about hypnosis? Mainly that because it is the realm of the mind, the imagination is basically your limit. Coaster Friends asks, sir, are you a master setter? I'm not sure what you mean. That one kid asks, what kind of stuffy is the best in your opinion? It's the stuffy that you love the most. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, have you ever had an instance where you became the sub? No. I have no inclination towards submission. Ooh. Bunnies can be called punnies because they get flung at puns. There's someone I need to inform about this. That one kid asks, ever played D&D? Yes, I have. And Mudleaf says, hi Nimja. And I say, hi Mudleaf. I think... Sparkly Hammer asks, has anyone ever tried to make you the sub? Actually, yes. In fact, if memory serves, someone even made a bet that they could dominate me. It did not go well. Rico Fanart asks, when did you start hypnosis? The exact origin is a bit vague. I read about it when I was 11, my first hypnosis session when I was 16. Goes a friend asks, do you like chocolate cookies? To a point. Stroopwafels are one of the best cookies, though. Just a Little Me asks, when learning about hypnosis, did being the subject ever interest you, or were you always interested in being the hypnotist? Being a subject with hypnosis is not the same as being submissive, so that interested me because relaxing is nice. That one kid asks, what's the scariest kind of monster you can think of? The one that is in charge when they shouldn't be. Stefan Schwarz asks, what do you think of transgenders? And actually, my files also show that I'm very gender inclusive. The problem is, identity is complicated at the best of time, and even with the best of intention, you cannot fully understand how someone sees themselves. So I don't have any specific opinion other than, like, they are as natural as everything else. Laurie asks, favorite material to use for bondage? A snap of my fingers. UA asks, what's your favorite landscape? Probably slightly sunny, covered in fresh snow. Crystal Bubbles asks, in terms of D&D, what makes a good boss fight? One that makes the players happy. Subdued Hughes asks, if you were forced to dye your hair in a neon color of your choosing, which color would you go for? Probably blue. Leah Thorpe asks, how can I focus more? I've been doing 10 to 12 hours rehearsals and staying present is really hard. Yes, you should do breaks with those rehearsals. Sparkly Ember asks, if for some reason you were unable to snap your fingers, what would you do instead? That is a very interesting question. Maybe, like, tap my leg, like almost like a slap. That one kid asks, what's the strictest kind of punishment you can think of for a little? I don't think that's wise to discuss on air. Bogdan the Lurker asks, continuing with D&D, what would you say to someone who wanted to roleplay as you in a game? Good luck. Elizabeth Allen asks, what is your favorite restaurant to eat at? That depends on my taste of the day. I quite like Asian food to some degree, but... Ooh, interesting question. Dingetje asks, when you hypnotize a Dutchie, do you do it in English or in Dutch? Very often I actually mix. I find that English just sounds nicer when I'm trying to say something relaxing. Crystal Bubbles asks, are you ever sad or disappointed when certain people don't make it to live events? Not exactly. I mean, it's a shame to see someone not present, but I am so busy with, like, maintaining everything that it doesn't really... I don't have the time emotionally to, like, miss people a lot. And yes, my D&D class is probably Bard Beguiler. Vienna Moon asks, what is your favorite meal of all time? Well, so there's different kinds of meals. Becca Rose asks, do you prefer someone outgoing and extroverted or quiet? Those are not the only two options. Alex Crowd asks, D&D alignment. I would say neutral good or chaotic good. While I playfully pretend to be evil, I actually put a lot of effort into the safe enjoyment of my work. So I cannot claim to be neutral, and I am definitely not evil. Like, not actually evil, just playfully. Jacoby Control asked, will you upload any more stories to your site? I don't know. I mean, I've been very, very busy. Leah Thorpe asked, what games have you been playing lately? I've been replaying the first Dishonored. Katarina Spilman asks, what if you do a file in game style? What shall it look like? I have done several files that are game-like. Blackhammer's Prime asks, I'm going crazy thinking you were speaking Dutch in the Winding Words file. Were you? Maybe. Liv asks, you also have some art on your personal site. Were those made by you? Yes, everything on nimja.com that isn't in the fanworks part is made by me. Playful good. Yes, I guess that would be a good alignment. Ghost of Friends asks, are you hitting the gym? No, but I do work out in private. That one kid asks, when do you feel the safest? Most of the time. Irina Pearl asks, how many hours do you spend responding to comments? I don't spend hours, actually. Most of the time I can answer them pretty quickly. On normal days, it's about, I would say, half an hour at most for the whole day. It was a bit different because of some random virality. Tina Samtani asks, are your now private videos available on any other platforms? Well, yes, they're all available on hypno.nimja.com. Evelyn asks, so the MBTI personality test is completely debunked, and just please read the Wikipedia page for it. You can probably guess what box I fit into. That one kid asks, can you tell us a short, fun story? I would, but I'm currently busy with a live stream. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, do you ever get a lot of comments coming into your inbox? Yes. Liv asks, do you like chubby girls? I like everyone with a body that is not unhealthy. It has nothing to do with weight specifically. It's just, please take good care of yourself. Fauna Johnson asks, least favorite chore to do when you were a kid? Hanging laundry. Most of the other things, were fine. Deluki BB asks, do you have red hairs? Maybe in my beard, but that's pretty normal. I think in my hair, not so much. Subdued Hughes asks, you've mentioned before in previous lives that you've been bullied growing up. How did you deal with it? Like most people, best as I could. I mean, physically I'm fairly strong, so it was ganging up on me a lot. And yeah, there's no easy way to deal with it other than learning to deal with it. 15 minutes remaining. Bogdan the Lurker asks, got any funny comments recently? Yes, I actually get funny comments all the time. Theo Marriott asks, what is your favorite film? My two favorite movies are Le Fabuleux Destiny d'Amélie Poulain and 3 Iron. But there's a lot of movies I like. Steven Schwartz asks, can you show your setup, sir? No, but a lot of the information about my setup is on the About page. Crystal Bubbles asks, have your eyes fully recovered from surgery? Any lasting side effects? They're, I would say 97% like recovered. They're a little bit dry at times, but other than that, they're fine. Luna Beekhausen asks, is this a good question? Not really. Lissy Lou asks, who's your favorite character from the Dark Crystal series? Mother Ogra. Modest asks, do you like Joker? I've not actually seen the Joker movie yet. It is on my list. That one kid asks, what is one of your pet peeves? I don't know. Crystal Bubbles asks, any good joke about Americans? Check the previous live. Bogdan the Lurker asks, what is something that you like that most people don't? Programming. I mean, technically, most people don't like programming. Still, like, there's a lot of people who do like programming. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, how tall are you? I am 1 meter 87 or 6'2". Louis asks, why do you age restrict your streams? Because they also contain adult stuff. Very V Plays asks, can you hack computers? Not anymore. I didn't buy a new axe. Arvid Malik asks, do you like coding? Well, yes. The site, the visuals, everything is made by me. That one kid asks, sweet or savory? Well, as long as you're not salty. Kiara asks, would you hypnotize someone if they can't fall into trance with files? Well, yes, why not? Hello, I'm a big fan asks, did anyone ever help you in coding your websites? No. But keep in mind, the website is like version 5 or something. No, way more. Liv asks, did you watch Zondag met Lubach? Nope. Irina Pearl asks, best holiday trip when you were a kid? France. Andrew asks, can all people get hypnotized? Yes, they can. Vanadium asks, would you ever record a file with another hypnotist? Yes, I'm actually talking to someone about that, but I don't know yet. Mel asks, do you have a favorite villain or anti-hero? I actually quite like Riddick. Although it was pretty standard, but the first movie was really nice. Pardon. Crystal Bubbles asks, how long do you anticipate your hypnosis to last? Is stopping even in your distant future? I currently have no plan to stop. And even if I would stop, the website and everything will stay online for a very, very long time. Tina Samtani asks, what got you into hypnosis? I answered a little bit earlier in this stream. It basically happened that I read an article when I was 11 about hypnosis in a science magazine. Westlake and Angel very cleverly asks, what would you like to say to all your littles right now? Very clever. Crystal Bubbles asks, do we annoy you? You specifically? I don't think so. No. The only thing that is sometimes a bit silly is when people ask either a question that has been asked every life or a question that has been asked the same life earlier. Evelyn says, thanks for the redirection to Wikipedia. With pleasure. Liv asks, what if I struggle with getting into little space? Then you have to struggle with your daddy. Wrestling helps. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, will you ever collab with Ultra Hypnosis? I don't know. I think he's quite busy with his own things at the moment. Bogdan the Lurker asked, ever thought of making a drinking game where you take a shot every time a question you've already answered is asked? I would die. Also, I don't really drink alcohol. Vampire Zuid asks, do you think that you're good enough to do what you're doing in your life? Yeah. I do the effort to learn things about hypnosis, to learn things about programming, to develop myself in all the things I do. So yeah, I think I'm good enough at what I do. And I keep improving myself as well. So I'm good enough to be where I am now, but I also still want to improve. Very V Plays asks, is it possible to hypnotize yourself? Definitely, it's called self-hypnosis. Katarina Spilman asks, what if you struggle with hypnosis when you listen to the files? Well, if you are in the Netherlands, if you check hypno.nimja.com/live, I run a meetup every 2 months, and I would say come to one of those. Me and other hypnotists can answer all kinds of questions you have in person. Crystal Bubbles asks, besides hypnosis and programming, do you have preferred creative outlets? I mean, hypnosis covers a lot of different creative outlets at the moment. But yeah, I've done a lot of things. Foxy Loxy asks, what do you think about smoking? It's a really good way to kill yourself slowly. I don't smoke, and I think smoking is an unpleasant smell. Jacoby Cantrell asked, could you drop any hints on upcoming files? I could, but I won't. Five minutes remaining, by the way. That one kid asks, do you prefer cuddles or passionate cuddles? Good question. Next question. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, do you ever have anyone fangirling you when they meet you in person? A few times, but usually after a few minutes it's all fine. I'm also just a normal person. It's kind of weird to be semi-famous because, see, I'm a very literal and nerdy person, and to me, famous people are still famous, like normal people. I've met a few famous people, and like I could just talk normal to them, and I don't always realize that this is not the same for everyone. Liv asks, so I usually use u instead of jij, but what do you prefer? I prefer jij, but it depends a bit on the dynamic at the time. If it is in a BDSM friendly setting, u can actually be nice. Irina Pearl asks, is there any common bad reactions to hypnosis and how do you deal with it? There's not very many common ones because people's feelings are their own and you deal with it with patience. Very few Plays asks, what famous people have you met? Most of them are Dutch, so they're not very well known. And I think the most famous, like internationally famous person that I've met in person would be the trance artist Robert Miles of the song Children. Not to be confused with the jazz artist. Luna Baker asks, is there any question you wish we would ask but we never do? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give you questions. Mel asks, what's your favorite part of where you live? Good food, good internet. Becca Rose asks, what's your favorite thing in the whole world? Good food, good internet. No. No, actually, like the Netherlands has a lot of good things. But I am very happy that that's like it's very convenient to live here. Oh, and Sparkly Hammer asks, can you please explain that you versus jij question? So in Dutch, you have formal you, and so there is a formal you and a informal you. And u is the formal one, and jij is the informal one. Kiara asks, will you hypnotize a listener through Skype? Yeah. Slice asks, remember Ninjago? Oh, that stuff is still going. Blackamus Prime asks, do you go to any music concerts? Not very many. I've been to a few. And yes, the u versus jij is similar to tu and vous in French, and it's actually used quite a bit. It varies a bit on context. It's mostly used towards older people. Mochi Chimchin asks, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? I would just go. I've been to a lot of places already. And yeah, I mean, I kind of still want to go to Japan. Hello, I'm a big fan asks, if your girlfriend isn't into BDSM, what will you do? Well, part of the discussions that you should have with a potential partner should include your sexual preferences. If you discover BDSM after you've started a relationship with your partner, then you should talk with your partner about your preferences. Love Cats Gaming asks, have you ever been in Thailand? No, I have not been in any country in Asia yet. All right, last question. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, I'm a big fan. Asks, do you prefer ropes or handcuffs? Usually ropes. All right. Now, thank you everyone for your participation and presence. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I want to once again thank all my patrons for their continued support. You can find the files soon on hypno.nimja.com/live. You can also find there where I'm going and what live events there are, both in person and online. And this was a very friendly and wonderful live. Thank you all. Now this is very lovely to read. Thank you. All right. This was Nimja Live. Wake.